This is KGW News at 11.
I saw a bullet come in and hit the top of the restaurant. There was at least 5 shots after that, so like 6 maybe.
The Clackamus County Sheriff's Office is investigating after multiple gunshots were fired at Clackamus Town Center just before 6 p.m. this evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm John Adams. The Sheriff's Office believes this shooting was an isolated incident and there is no further danger to the public. They're still working to determine if anyone was hurt. We spoke to 2 people who were having a family birthday dinner at the Cheesecake Factory when they saw a shot come through the building and hit the ceiling of the restaurant. They then got under the table and hid.
Found out it was somebody shooting guns, and so it's kind of a scary situation. But then again, God's got us, and so, we start, of course, praying.
If you have any tips or information about what happened, please contact the Sheriff's Office tip line by phone at 503-723-4949. We're less than 24 hours away from the historic total eclipse. Cities along a path from Texas to Maine will go completely dark tomorrow afternoon. Meteorologist Joe Ranieri joins us tonight to break down everything we need to know about this upcoming eclipse. Joe?
Well, John, not only are we going to be looking at another solar eclipse across the United States tomorrow, the moon that's going to block the sun is going to be a supermoon. Now, that's when the full moon coincides with the moon's perigee. The perigee is when the moon is at its closest point to Earth in its orbit. The moon will appear up to 7% bigger and 15% brighter than a typical full moon. Usually, supermoons glide just above or below the sun, but tomorrow it will line up straight on. The moon's larger appearance will add a little more time to the eclipse. Now, here's some safety tips that you should be paying close attention to if you're going to get a chance to see it. For the partial eclipse, which in our area begins right around 10:30, make sure you have those safety glasses on. Now, for both the diamond ring and the Bailey's beads, I'll explain that in a second, make sure the glasses are on. For totality, you can take the glasses off. For the final stages, make sure you put those glasses back on. So here's what the diamond ring effect looks like. The last bits of sun pass through valleys on the moon, creating a dazzling burst of light that clings to the edge of the moon. And if you're wondering what's it going to be like, well, it will be slightly cooler, less sunlight, temperatures drop. Less sunlight also equals less heat, fewer clouds, higher relative humidity as the temperatures cool, near calm winds thanks to the loss of sunlight. And in our area, unfortunately, we're not going to be seeing it here throughout western Washington or western Oregon. You're going to have to head a little bit through the east side of the Cascades. That's where it's going to be partly cloudy, with a bit of breaks in the clouds. Clear skies in the southeast side of the state. And of course, 2017, Oregon was in the path of totality, and it was incredible to see. Temperatures dropped during totality by about 20 degrees, so it's going to be absolutely incredible to watch heading into tomorrow morning. But again, John, your best bet is to head east if you want to get a chance to see it. And some models are even showing some clearing throughout parts of the central and southern part of the Willamette Valley. I'll talk more about that in detail in just a few minutes.
All right, Joe, thank you. Maybe we'll get lucky and get a break in those clouds. Well, here in Portland, OMSI is hosting a watch party tomorrow morning. It's from 10:30 to 12:30. Back in 2017, Oregon saw a total eclipse. This time around, like Joe said, we're looking at just over 20%. And a programming note here, there will be no KGW news at noon tomorrow. NBC will take over coverage at 11 a.m. for a 2-hour eclipse special report. Then be sure to tune in for more coverage after the eclipse on KGW News at 4, 5, and 6. Portland police arrest 3 people early Saturday after responding to a burglary call in the northeast part of town. It happened in the area of Northeast 49th Avenue in Holman Street. Police say one of the suspects had a felony warrant out for his arrest and was sought for other felony charges. He was also in possession of methamphetamine. Portland police officers seized an illegally possessed firearm during a traffic stop. It happened just before midnight Friday in the area of Northeast 122nd and Sandy. The driver was arrested on charges of felon in possession of a firearm and possession of a loaded firearm within city limits. A deadly virus is affecting several dogs in western Washington. One animal hospital in the area says they've only been open for about 9 months, but they've already seen up to a dozen cases of Parvo virus. One of the dogs they've seen has died. One vet is asking the community to do more to prevent the virus from spreading.
If people don't scoop their poop, I know it's law, but it's really to help prevent the spread of any kind of diseases, whether it be worms, parvo, whatnot. If another animal smells that poop on a walk, then they can contract it that way.
Well, vets say the next best thing owners can do is to make sure their pets are vaccinated. A popular downtown chain restaurant is now closed after the city of Portland terminates its lease. The owner of Buffalo Wild Wings on Southwest Morrison says the business was successful for most of the 17 years they were open, but he says their relationship with the city went sour after the 2020 protests and they asked for better security.
Not uncommon to turn on the news and see our sports bar in the background. I remember bonfires being lit in the intersection, and I'm looking at this going, that's our A-frame signs that we have outside our restaurants that were used to kindle the fire.
He says when the city decided to close the adjoining parking garage, sales plummeted. That's when they stopped paying rent. He says he's now focused on his locations in the suburbs like Tualatin and Hazel Dell. The city says they hope to find a business to rent that now vacant space. A small business is asking you to be on the lookout for their barbecue smoker. The owners of Southern Kitchen PDX say it was stolen Saturday morning from behind their food truck. Surveillance video caught at least 2 people wheeling it off site. One of the owners tells us he hopes he can get the grill back in one piece. He says it's as much a part of the business as their food truck.
I had a small grill, but I wanted a bigger one so I could serve the community, serve the people. And so I sat down and I drawed it out, got with a welder, and he came and brought it to life. So it means a lot to me.
The business also gives back by holding holiday food giveaways and making food baskets for the homeless. If you see this grill, don't buy it and report it to police. They also have a GoFundMe in the event they're not able to find the grill. We have the link to that on our website, kgw.com. An important reminder for Max riders, a stretch of the Max Blue Line is closed for the next week. The disruption affects 5 stations between East 172nd Avenue and Civic Drive in Gresham. Shuttle buses will run every 15 minutes. Trains will also be slower between Civic Drive and the end of the line. This is so TriMet can make improvements to a rail crossing in the area. The disruption will last through next Saturday, April the 13th.
I haven't checked any of them. I mean, I think I bought $10 worth.
Well, it's time to check your numbers if you haven't already. The winning Powerball ticket was sold right here in Portland. This is the biggest jackpot ever won in Oregon, and there's still time to claim the prize. Our Ashley Grahams has more.
We've got 52, 22, rounding it out with 69.
Do those Powerball numbers look familiar? You might want to check again.
Woke up and saw that it was in Oregon. I was like, oh, that's nice.
A winning Powerball ticket worth $1.3 billion was sold in Portland for Saturday's drawing. So far, no one's come forward to claim the prize.
And my grandparents texted me asking if I won. I was like, I'd have to buy a ticket to win.
The Oregon Lottery says the lucky winner bought their ticket in the 97218 zip code. That's northeast Portland in the Cully neighborhood near the Portland International Airport. $600 million.
Yeah, it's hard to even imagine.
If the winner chooses to take the lump sum, they walk away with $621 million.
I have a 2-year-old, so I would definitely set her up for the rest of her life.
Danielle Dunn would spend the jackpot on her family.
My grandparents raised me, so they would definitely see a big chunk of it.
It's hard. I think I'd want to go on some vacations maybe and do some upgrades to our house and maybe save for college.
If I won, I would help as many people as I could. There's a responsibility to help your fellow man when you have the means to do so.
There's still plenty of time to redeem the lucky ticket.
Maybe next time, yeah, you got to play to win, right?
The winner has 1 year to come forward. And according to state law, with few exceptions, they can't stay anonymous. In Portland, Ashley Grahams, KGW News.